You hear of success stories, but you tend not to hear about success stories in this modern age, although there are plenty of success stories in the insect world. Many insects and invertebrates are benefiting through changes to our climate. This butterfly, however, has benefited from a different source. Benefited from the hands of man, of all things. This is Hills and Holes, or in particular this is the annex bit of Hills and Holes. If I'd been on the main part of the site of scientific interest, I'd probably have cows surrounding me by now, because this little bit is left unmanaged. It's just a small triangular shallow area of grassland, and it's just left untouched. So we have lots of flowers like this beautiful centaurea here, but there are scabious and a variety of flowers which should be on the other side. Well, technically they are. It's just that on the other side that gets grazed, and grazed far too early. The cattle were put in there in very early June this year. I'm sure it's the earliest that they've ever been put in there, but they just trashed the place. And so it becomes like any sort of River Trent side area of meadowland, and quite useless for anything. This is the bit with all the butterflies, and in particular one butterfly is doing exceptionally well here, and has done for many years, and it's the marbled white, a quite beautiful butterfly which, despite its name, used to be a member of the browns, or the Satyridae if I remember right. They're now all colloquially lumped in with Nymphalidae. It all gets very complicated, but even though the butterfly is called a white, technically it's one of the browns. If you're confused, you're not the only one. But it's a beautiful butterfly, and was released here presumably by Martin White many years ago, and it's done well. Of course, when any butterflies suddenly appear at a site, everybody bemoans the fact that it's been released. Then they all go and look at them, which rather condones the release in my mind. And releases aren't all that bad unless it's something that's going to be terrifically detrimental to a species, because most releases don't ultimately work. However, marbled white has gone from strength to strength, and it's also been helped by the fact that the butterfly has increased its range in Nottinghamshire by natural means. But certainly after its beginnings, its rather contentious beginnings at Portland Park in Kirkby and Ashfield in the early 1990s, or at least sometime in the 1990s if memory serves me well, and at times it doesn't, it's spread along the former mineral lines of the old coal network, and so it's now apparently at a number of sites across western and north and western Nottinghamshire. I think that's great. When I was butterflying keenly in the early 1980s, it was nowhere near Nottinghamshire, and hadn't been then anywhere near Nottinghamshire for decades. But now it's a common butterfly in Nottinghamshire, and is doing very well at no harm to other species. It's amazing how as soon as the sun starts to show its face, marbled whites appear. There's 3 down here now. They just appear out of the grass, but the good thing about marbled whites is that even on dull cloudy days you can quite easily find one if you know where the butterflies are, because they'll often be sat roosting overnight from the last flower they visited the previous day. They're a cracking butterfly, and as beautiful underneath as they are from above. I love them, and I love their flight as well, because they fly very similar to ringlets, a very slow, sort of dainty, flitty flight amongst the grasses. Quite beautiful just to sit and watch, and that's what I've been doing here for a couple of minutes. I am thankful to Martin for getting the marbled white, or at least bringing the marbled white here to this little area of grassland just 10 minutes from home. Brilliant. What's not to like about that? In this day and age where habitats are fast declining and likely to decline even faster, it's nice that this little patch of grassland is still here, and that it's still home to a butterfly released a decade or so ago, the marbled white. It's a quite beautiful butterfly, and while they're still flying for the remainder of July, why not get out and have a look at it? It really is a little gem. Might only be brown and white, but it's a flying chessboard of a butterfly. It's a beauty.